I have a video of this guy who's mentioning how he believes you have to deal with disrespectful women. He was supposed to be going on a date with somebody, right? And yeah, it didn't go to plan. So let's react to this video, and then obviously let's hear what he's actually saying about this, because he says disrespect, he ain't tolerating it. Let's get into it.
Now, as you guys know, I have multiple girlfriends. I deal with a lot of girls. I manage maybe 30 females. It ranges between 30 to 60 females total that I'm managing, and obviously I have my numerical order, etc., etc. But that was an alarm. But what I want to do right now is explain to you guys how to conduct
30. I wouldn't recommend 30, but that's him. But I wouldn't recommend 30 at all, right? Let's just hear about the disrespect part, though. That's the part that, you know, we need to hear his approach to it. But 30, when he said 30, I ain't for that. I'm not going to advocate for that. But teach his own. Teach his own. If this is what he wants to do, teach his own.
yourself while you're talking to these females, okay? So recently I found out I was on something called Are We Dating the Same Guy? And out of like 250,000 females, not one could say something bad about me. And the reason is because I conduct myself very, very respectful. I don't disrespect any of these females. I tell them what my expectations are. I tell them my intentions. And overall, they can either take it or leave it. Now, I told this girl wanted me to pick her up. She doesn't have a car. All right. And I think she might be like Somali or Muslim. I'm not really sure. She looked black, but her style was kind of Muslim. And sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but basically she was an okay looking chick. She was like a 5 to a 6, cute at best. And she did a super like on Bumble, you know, and she called my attention. We were talking, and she wanted to talk on Snapchat, which is fine. So she wanted to meet, which is fine. And I told her, well, you're very far away. You're like over an hour away. And then she goes to say, oh, well, you can handle it. You can handle it. I'm like, well, actually, matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys that. Just as I was about to show you guys that, what's very funny is that she ended up blocking me. She ended up blocking me. But you guys can see what I said, okay? You guys can see what I said. I'm not trying to make you, I'm trying to force you to do anything. I'm not trying to persuade you to do anything. The point is that if you want me to drive that far and take you out to dinner, then you're going to have to give something back. Because I'm not about to drive to you to spend money on you. You're not worth it. You're not worth it, right? You're not special. You just have a vagina, right?
The part about you can handle that, when she said that, that should give you an understanding of her character and how she comes across. That immediately, that's a flag. Immediately is waving. Just her whole demeanor in the way she spoke from that. You can just tell that it's someone that has a little bit of, that kind of confrontational kind of style. Expecting you to do certain things in regards to the first meetup, right? Expecting you to come an hour plus, as opposed to maybe meeting in a neutral spot where he will attend and obviously you both attend, Now, that's not to say you cannot pick up somebody, but in this regard, if you've made it clear that, hey, that's a little bit far out, can we meet halfway? We meet here, and then boom, we come to the place. And then maybe if the day goes well, then I can probably take that hour plus trip, back to you. But for me, like I said, I'm not advocating for this guy or anything. I'm just saying, let's look at the disrespect aspect and let's analyze that. But let's hear more.
So I'm like, you have to make it worth it overall. And, she kind of does some pushback, and that's when I said the message up here. I'm like, well, you're not understanding. I'm not trying to persuade you or convince you to do something. I'm simply telling you what the rules are. This is how it works. Take it or leave it. This just says all this disrespectful stuff, right? All this disrespectful stuff for no reason. I did not insult this female. She just got angry because I wasn't treating her special, right? So then I say, I've been respectful to you. This clearly shows your maturity level. I'm no longer interested. I won't insult you because life has already done enough to you. Take care. That is how you handle it. Her life without me, she's in turmoil. She has a terrible life without me. I'm that great. She has a very bad life without me. So then why would I get angry that I can't spend money on her? That's her loss. And that's how you guys need to conduct yourself. That's how I manage so many females.
Well, that's his opinion. That's his encounter with her. I will say this though, he did make it clear that he tells the women that he's dealing with what the deal is. He doesn't try and hide anything, according to what he said. He makes it clear, and then obviously they've made the decision to stay and be within that 30 girl rotation, sort of environment. But with this particular woman, and the fact that she was giving him abuse with this, story, it seems for me, it wasn't someone that you'd even try and take seriously. Now, a lot of women won't take him seriously, right? In terms of trying to be in a relationship. But with him, he's made it clear. So there will be a lot of people that will say, oh, but who does this guy think he is? Look at him. He's this, he's that. You can have your right to say that, but he's made it clear. Whenever you hear situations with women, sometimes complaining about certain things, about how certain men are, if they make it clear, there's nothing really you can say about that apart from, I don't want it. But in this regard, he handled it with this kind of mentality of, I'm saying exactly what I'm trying to do. You're not on it, I'm off. He didn't beg. He didn't force anything. He didn't, do anything that was untoward based on this exchange, unless there's some more information that maybe, can come out down the line. But for this one, he handled it in a way that suggests, I'm moving how I want to move. You're with it or not. That's his opinion. You're with it or not. He's not forcing himself to try and take her out, because at the end of the day, he's going to have to pay. And that's how he made it clear at the end, more or less, of, I don't need to, force you to basically, come out. But the whole point of him saying, oh, your life is this and that, that's more of you feeling a little, you kind of felt away a little bit. So you kind of thought you do a little digging there as well. But apart from that, his opinion and his way of handling it, this is a situation where it's not really a major one. It's one of those ones where as soon as you see her reeling off all of that kind of way of speaking, finished, done. Stop talking. You stop talking. That's all you do. Okay, that's what you're on? Cool. You don't even need to block. When guys do that as well, that's another thing. Unless the girl is, not too, smart in the head, that blocking stuff, just stop. Just stop talking. If it gets to that point where she's just throwing shots, expecting you to do certain things that she could actually, compromise on, which is to meet at a certain, time and place. She wanted you to come there an hour plus drive when you've just met this person online. That's why for me, this dating stuff, unless the communication is clear about what's, what the process is, then there's no point. And it doesn't seem that the communication was 100% clear, because there was an expectation from her to just expect you to just come. She expected you to just do it because you're a guy. That's how I looked at it. She's just thinking, oh, but you're a guy. You got a car. You're supposed to do this for me. It's that entitled nature. And that's where you can go wrong in general. And with this guy, he's made it clear how he moves. He's got his 30 girl rotation. And yeah, he handles his disrespect, or he handles disrespect by literally making it clear what he's not going to do, more or less, and dipping. That kind of way, I can't front on it. I can't say it's that much of an issue in terms of not having to go back and forth, argue, and there's no need for that. State your piece. If you do get a response back, then you can state your piece. You can reaffirm it. If they want clarity and you're trying to gain clarity, then yeah, you can go back and forth in that regard. You can state your piece and say, this is not what I'm for, or this is what I'm for. And if they want to come in a better way, that's different. But him locking it off quick as he did, brief explanation, that's the best way. That's the best way. But yeah, my opinion is just in terms of the disrespect, I would say handle it in a way where you're making it clear. I would say with the disrespect, handle it in a way where you're making it clear, what your objectives are. Be honest to the woman who you're dealing with and let that person decide. You know, I would take it away from the 30 girl rotation aspect. And if you're a person that's looking for, you know, somebody and you're looking for something that is serious, then it will be more of a just deal with it as it is. See what you're getting, hear the responses, hear the tones that you're even getting back from her. Sometimes, you know, there's a tonality that the way some people speak with. Sometimes that can even be a bit rude or condescending. Check for all of these things. And then make your assessment based on the actions. Never force anything. Never beg for anyone's kind of, you know, time or approval. Never do things that you know you don't want to do. That is something that is outside of what is, you know, normal. And also do things from a clear standpoint. If you want to pick her up and you want to go somewhere, then that should be communicated with both of you that this is what you're going to do. But if it's something like this where you meet someone online, for example, I'm not a fan of the online, but let's just say you meet someone online and then, these dating websites online, and then you're conversing with her and it's about going out. That has to be agreed of how the proceedings will take place before things are even going to start moving. Okay, we're going to go out. Okay, how are we going to get there? Okay, I'll pick you up from how long, you know, you're going to be, or where do you live? You know, you find out the estimates of how long it takes. And if you believe it's something to do, then you do it based on the type of girl that she is. Is she showing that she's up for, you know, being, you know, involved in this process seamlessly without you having to force the issue? But it will be interesting to find out what people think. Like the video. Let me know, how do you guys handle disrespect? Do you think you would have tried to force the issue on some, okay, let me try and pick you up because you were leading with the wrong thing, you know, thinking let me make the most out of this, even if I don't want to go, but I'm going to try to because I just want to, you know what I mean? But you got to question these things. What makes sense? What's logical? And what is something that you both can compromise on?